So yeah, here's where I'm at. After over 3 months with Xcode 26 and GPT baked in, I gotta ask, has anything really changed for solo devs? Like, yeah, I can get a suggestion, fix a bug, maybe have it scaffold a view, but is this actually what I dreamed about when everyone was talking AI in Xcode? Or is it still mostly, hey, at least typos get caught a little quicker? I don't know. If you're building solo, trying to ship, you probably feel it too. Just real quick, so I'm Daniel. I've been living in the iOS trenches for over 8 years now. I started off freelancing, working with clients, figuring out what actually works, and honestly, what just burns you out. But after Dub 25, I kind of flipped the switch and went all in on solo dev life. Since then, I've shipped over 10 of my own apps, started building in public, and right now, pretty much all my energy is going into Crafter's Lab. It isn't just another tutorial site or some AI clone farm. This is my actual home base. It's for solo devs who want to use AI like a real teammate, not like a vending machine. So, yeah, I'm keeping it short, but if you want your own solo command center and be part of the crew, that's what Crafter's Lab is for. And yeah, if you're still on Patreon, massive thanks. But heads up, everything's moving over to crafterslab.dev. Honestly, if you want to get in and lock your membership before things get busy and before I roll out real pricing, now's the best time to join. For real, come be part of the crew. Okay, so first impressions. The big promise with GPT and Xcode 26 is smarter coding help built right in. You can ask for suggestions, fix errors, even scaffold features. Sounds great, right? But honestly, here's what you notice as a solo dev. It feels cautious. The whole workflow kind of nudges you into ask once, wait, get an answer, then do it all over again. There's no request queuing. You hit the button Xcode thinks, and you just wait. If you're used to the back and forth of Claude code or even the plan execute flow of Cursor, it's a vibe killer. You end up scribbling prompts and notes, waiting for your turn, and that's just not flow. At first, I actually thought maybe this was on purpose. It kind of forces you to slow down, check your work, really read what the AI is doing before you move on. That's not always bad, especially if you're new to coding with AI in the loop. But as soon as you're ready to move fast, you feel the brakes. It's the difference between having a real teammate in Cursor, where you can queue up a batch of edits, review, and accept or undo, and feeling like you're back to single player mode. So, yeah, it's helpful for the fix my code moments, but I wouldn't say it really changes your coding flow, at least not yet. For solo devs who want to build, iterate, and riff, this is more like having a slightly smarter linter, not a true agent partner. Here's where things start to really show the difference. If you're using Cursor, you know the game. You drop in a rules.md, you set up your context. Maybe you even pipe in your Notion docs or project constraints. And the agent actually learns your vibe. Same with Claude Code. You give it a claude.md or just a batch of onboarding docs, and the whole session changes. Xcode 26? Yeah, not really there yet. There's no way to feed it a persistent context file. No, remember how I like my Swift UI rules. No custom architecture hints, none of that. Every time you want the AI to know what matters, you have to paste it into the chat over and over. That means you're re-explaining yourself every session, every prompt, like you're onboarding a new intern who keeps forgetting your name. And honestly, that's the killer for real solo workflows. If you care about architecture, test patterns, that weird one-off build script, or just your own quirky way of naming things, you're back to manual labor. Cursor and Claude feel like teammates. Xcode still feels like Clippy got a degree in Swift. What I wish Xcode would do? Let me set up a rules.md or prd.md file that's baked right into the project. Let me teach the AI once and have it actually act like a member of the team. Until then, Cursor wins hands down for anything beyond basic bug fixing. All right, so here's where I land after living with all these agents. Xcode 26 has GPT-5 in the loop, but let's be honest, for solo devs, it still kind of feels like a fancy calculator. not an actual teammate. What do I want next? Man, so much. But if I had to pick, here's the dream. First, I just want to feel like the AI knows me, or at least remembers the project. Give me persistent project memory. Let me drop in my own rules, style quirks, or even a do not touch this part of the app note, and have it actually stick. I'm tired of copy pasting the same context into every new chat window. Claude Code does this with Claude.md. Cursor has rules files. Even VS Code extensions are starting to get it. Apple, let me have a project brain, not just a chat log. And honestly, context shouldn't be a chore. I want Xcode to just get the whole workspace, not just whatever file I have open. Give me true project awareness. If the AI is really in Xcode, then let it see my architecture, my docs, my weird one-off folders, and use all that to actually help. No more single file tunnel vision. Next, I'd love to see real workflow integration, not just answering prompts, but actually understanding the flow of how I build, from first draft to refactor to polish. Imagine if you could teach the AI your own build rituals or testing routines and have it suggest, automate, or even nudge you when you're about to break your own rules. I want an agent that actually feels like it's building with me, not just fixing my typos. And then there's community. Imagine if we could share agent configs, prompt templates, or even open source our rules for other solo devs. Xcode has this massive community, but right now the AI feels totally isolated. I want a world where you can remix, borrow, or learn from other indie workflows, not just get stuck with the default. Look, I know it's early. I'm glad Apple is moving, even if it's slow. But the real leap, that's going to be when Xcode AI starts feeling like an actual member of the indie crew, the kind of thing you can't imagine building without. Until then, I'll keep wishing, keep building, and keep bringing my own agents to the party. So, yeah, if you're still here, seriously, you're a legend. And if you know me, you know I'll keep using Cursor Gemini 3 for the big stuff, Claude for context aware, and maybe lean on Xcode's AI for the quick fixes. And honestly, if you're tired of agent roulette, switching tools, losing flow, wasting tokens on stuff that just doesn't fit how you build, maybe this is your cue to try something new or at least go a little deeper. And yeah, check out crafterslab.dev. It's not just some tutorial dump. It's not another AI clone farm. It's honestly my home base. I built it for solo devs who treat AI like a real teammate, not just a button you smash when you're stuck. And, it's packed. You get full walkthroughs, like actual short video tutorials, notes from the trenches, and yeah, straight up downloadable zips you can drop right into your project. The real magic is in the crew. Members get to actually riff in the comments, ask follow-ups, go back and forth, and yeah, that's just the start. Because the real core is the Notion team spaces, my live playbook, the real command center, all the dashboards for every app, agentready.md files, every weird prompt library, all the exact systems I use to keep my solo workflow moving with AI. There's a full curated Swift and Swift UI library in there too. Not just random files, but the actual stuff I use to fine tune models and build out my own custom MCPs for Claude Code, for Cursor, all of it. If you want to get your hands on the resources I actually rely on day to day, it's all sitting there, not just for watching, but for remixing into your own stack. And then, of course, there's OpsLab. That's honestly my favorite part. It's where I build and share all my AI agent systems, Notion templates, the workflows, automations, all wired up and ready for you to copy, tweak, totally break, and make your own. The whole point is to keep the indie stack connected so you don't feel like you're building in a silo, even if you're solo at the keyboard. So, yeah, if you want to get in before it gets busy and prices start moving, now's kind of the sweet spot. The crew's still small, super hands-on, and honestly, it feels way more like a behind-the-scenes dev lounge than some giant faceless forum. Would love to see you in there, swap some stories, maybe even learn something from what you're building next. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. Keep building, keep experimenting. Peace.